I spent 5 on my pinky ring. She love my diamond ring. In the way I'm married to the game. She said her vows to me. I ain't getting on my knees, babe. You bow down to me. You go down for me. You lay down and do the time for me. Sorry, boo. Yeah, I lied to you, but don't you lie to me.
Shalom, shalom. First off, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Akakadash, Yahweh being the true name for Heavenly Father, Yahushai being the name for His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls God, and Jesus Christ. I want to give double honor to our apostles, double honor to our elders, a great millstone that taught the truth and will well, and salutations to hopefully pushes truth and honesty, sincerity. This is Brother Yahweh, because you know, listen to the spirit power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. This lesson is going to be to the spirit. Just wanted to share this clip. Get the brother Ricardo Bar out here in GMSKC. He did a lesson on it, so I kind of want to land back off of his too, you know, because it was a spirit. I just uploaded that lesson yesterday, you know, and I made a statement going into this, you know, and now you see it firsthand. I'm not sure when this took place, but as far as which game goes or what date, but it's during the World Cup, and a woman proposed to her man. This is what the orders has always supposed to been, man. It was never supposed to be a man asking for your hand in marriage, because women are supposed to be in servitude and subjection unto the man. So what sense does it make for a man to lower himself in an act of subjection and submission unto a woman when she's the weaker vessel? That's off. So Esau created this whole marriage proposal system and engagement, which is off. Even the engagement rings, that's new. That wasn't going on thousands of years ago. They just started like the engagement ring shit, and you need a ring to be married during America's birth. So you have to ask yourself, what constituted marriage back in the ancient world before America came about and created all this stuff? But it was the act of sex. Okay? And there's probably different cultures in history that, you know, women carry something to identify themselves as they're married. Because you got to know if a woman's married or not. You know, but most of the time, you know, if she was covered up, you know, and she had a veil over her face, she had belonged to an husband. You know, women didn't reveal themselves until a man, unless that man, they wanted to be with them. You know, so it was common practice for women to be covered up. You know, and you see that over in the Middle East, and people get all look at the women as if it's scary or something like that. But that's just the way it was in the ancient world, man. So all this liberty is out now. You know, but it's the spirit that we're seeing stuff like this happen, and this is going to pick up. Like we say, Isaiah 4:1's coming, man. Okay, these women are mentally getting prepared to begin to choosing the men and treating the men like kings again. Okay, because they chose the Satan's venom, the serpent, the ways of Babylon in the West. It's not working out for them. Some of them are getting tired and beginning to see why, you know, they really need a sister wife in the house. They're getting tired of being independent because the work is getting too hard, too strenuous. You know, right now I'm exhausted from working today, man. I'm so goddamn tired. You know, but men are built for working and being overworked. You know, women are not built to be having jobs like that. Your job is supposed to be tending to the household. That's your line of work where you could do it way better, and a man will get exhausted trying to do household stuff, but a woman could just do it better. You know? But you see, you know, she's proposing. That's the spirit. You know, I'm going to play a little bit of this clip too, because I just mentioned this, man, yesterday. So it's the spirit. Like, some of y'all might have got offended when I made this statement in this video that we're the ones that's supposed to be getting proposed to, but you just seen it firsthand. And then you add in all the other little bitty expectations. You better hold open the door, you know? You better pull her chair out. All these things have been created in society to serve these women. But the Bible says opposite. You're supposed to be serving us. Hell,
We're the ones that should be getting proposed to.
Okay? And you see it. I mean, just look at this, man. Well, watch. Gotta see it again, man. She's getting down on one knee. That's why I had that song playing it with Kodak Black. He said, you bow down to me. He was in the right spirit, man. A lot of y'all women need to see this and get used to it. And there's other comment boards the bro shared in the video of how many women hated looking at this. They're, really coming after and attacking her for this. Couldn't be me, blah, blah, blah. Hey, you're in a queendom, man. You're in a American delusion. It's not supposed to be men submitting unto your will and begging for your love and begging for your hand. No, we're the prize. This is 1 Corinthians 11:8. It says, "For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man." Right. You were created for us. We weren't created for you. We weren't built, and then the Lord created the whole earth to serve you and beg for your marriage and just weigh at your every hand of emotions. Tend to your every single feeling. That's not what the world is. America's got y'all's mind jacked up. It's Ecclesiastes 25:21. It says, "Stumble not at the beauty of a woman, and desire her not for pleasure." And that's what y'all hold on a pedestal, of how good you look, or how well your body parts look. You'll pay for these BBLs. You pay for the eyelashes. You pay for the lip injections. You pay for the breast implants. You pay beauty. You try so hard to put that on a pedestal, but you don't pay for any cooking lessons. You don't pay for any type of economic lessons on conducting business, because you should be able to know how to work willingly with your hands, to be able to make products for your husband to go out and sell. You should know that. You should know how to, tend to a garden. You don't take any type of lessons on that. And what about agriculture? Getting into livestock and hens, to raise your own food, and all this economy and what's going on in the world is you're about to be facing all hell breaking loose. Famine, starvations, food shortages. They're going to come out with that market of beast, so you're not going to be allowed to go to the supermarket to buy shit. So how else are you going to get your food? But see, if you were in the right mindset and focus on the right things, you could be a help in the household to grow food, make clothes, make hats, make your own medicine, and not just you do it all. You're supposed to have a team helping you out of fellow sisters, man. Helpers, multiple wives in the house to help change all them damn diapers. A couple of wives take on all of your kids, so you and your husband could go take a 2-week trip to Bora Bora on an island. And then y'all have plenty of money to do it, because you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 streams of income. However many wives is involved in that house. So the woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impudence, and much reproach. Right. These women aren't grateful of being married. They become extremely bitter, evil. They miss the cock carousel, all the attention. So they quickly divorce over any little thing. And 90% of divorces are executed by a woman. It says, "A wicked woman abateth the courage, maketh a heavy countenance, and a wounded heart. A woman that will not comfort her husband in distress maketh weak hands and feeble knees. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die." So what sense does it make when you got all these attributes the Lord was warning of, things that women be doing that's off, that we're supposed to get on our knee and go pay and make payments on a $5,000 ring and ask you to marry us just so you can treat us like this? Because you Western women, you're not raised to be true biblical style wives. You're raised to go to college. You're raised to have a whole phase, about 30 of them in your life, of whole phases. You're raised to be independent and leave your men and to become a single mother and get child support and be on Section 8. That's all y'all know over here. You're not raised with any good quality attributes. You don't even have a father figure in your life, so you have no idea the importance of a man and how to respect him, how to talk to him. You know, you didn't have a visual example to see your mom serving her man. Say, baby, you need anything? You know, rubbing his feet, massaging him, cooking his meals. You know, and him providing for his house, working, coming home. A lot of y'all don't have that type of visual, example. Speaking to the Israelite women, so-called black women predominantly, but you got the Latino and the natives that are going through it too. There's no dad in the house. You know, so your idea is whatever white men tell you of what a man should do. A cuck for you. You know, spend all his money, beg for your attention, pay for it, pay for the sex. Like, all this shit is off, man. But yet, the beginning of sin, and why the world is in the current state it's in, is from the act that you did all the way back in the garden. You need to have accountability for that. So what makes you the prize to somebody needs to bow and ask for your hand? No, you ask for the men's hand, man. And the point of this lesson is damn near a sin to do this, for men to be getting out on one knee. Like, if you're a man, you shouldn't be doing that shit. You don't ask no woman to be with you and beg her to be with you. This is the first Esdras 4:26. Yea, many there be that have run out their wits for women and became servants for their sakes. Right. She planning all the whole wedding, how everything she wants. And 90% of the shit that's there is for her. She needs to have the colors, this many people needs to witness it. She needs to have this expensive of a dress. It needs to be at this venue and this location. You know, and if she doesn't get one of those items, the whole wedding damn near needs to be called off. And the ring, you better spend on a minimum of $10,000 on it. If you're not, then you don't love her enough. You didn't show her properly her worth, because you didn't spend your whole life savings on her fucking ring. And it's going to be given and thrown back in your face. It's a cheap ass ring. It doesn't matter how hard, what little money you did have. Maybe the ring was only $1,000. You know, even then, that's a whole fucking lot of money to pay for one little stone. I mean, $1,000 could be a damn down payment for a car or some shit. And which you can really be used for. You can't use a ring for a damn thing. Most of y'all, when you go in public, you're going to take it off anyway. Especially when you get the chance to go out when your man's not around. You be taking them fucking rings off to see how many men catcall you. You put on a skimpy dress, you know, and you be wanting to go out. I just want to have some alone time, some me time. And the me time is to go try to find a Tyrone and cheat on your man with. You know, so men just don't do that shit, man. Let them ask for your hand, because we're no value to them anyway. They make all these videos on how, you know, men are this, men are that. How they constantly put videos and uploading how much they don't need us. They feel the need to constantly remind us of that. You get with them. I don't need you. Oh, I don't need you. Oh, I don't need you. I can get another. So since you can get so many of us, another one of us, we just leave your asses alone. You got it. You can have it. Just go dyke it up. You know, men are really fed up with that shit. So women needs to start. It's time for women to start working to show their interest in you, not wasting our time no more. Because you got women that accept to go on a date, get a free meal and all this shit. You know, and we get absolutely nothing in return. Like, they don't even want to offer to pay for a drink at the dinner. They want you to pay for everything. And if you don't, you're not masculine enough. And then they leave the date, don't give you any ass or try to get out of it, because maybe they're just not that into you, but they saw a free meal ticket. So they still accepted the date just to get that. That's fucked up. Just so they could take some pictures on Instagram on social media to post that somebody bought them flowers. This shit's wicked, bro. It's all about getting attention and trophies to women of what they can get men to do for them. That shit is off. Don't become servants for their sakes. Let them get down to you. Let them get on one knee. Like Kodak said, you bow down to me. Again, proof that women are going to be the ones asking us for marriage. Y'all are supposed to propose to us. This is Isaiah 4:1. It says, in that day, so few men will be left that 7 women will fight for each man, saying, let us all marry you. What is the whole act of proposing? It's to ask the other person's hand in marriage, right? Is this not proposing? 7 of them to 1, by the way. Let us all marry you. We will provide our own food and clothing, right? And you need to pay for this. You need to open my door. You need to pay for the dinner, the movie. If a man don't pay for it, that's not chivalry. Chivalry is dead. Open my door. Oh, you're going to take me to dinner? Oh, you need to go buy me a dress to put on to go to the dinner too. All this stuff you got to fucking do? What do y'all really got to do? There's no requirements from y'all, man. And we're sick of this shit. It says we will provide our own food and clothing. Right. That's the mindset y'all supposed to be in. You come with your own substance. What can you add to our lives? Because when you add to our lives, your lives increase. The Lord opens up the door for structure and work and substance to be won by the man, not for the women. So the men will always be the harder workers. He will just get that natural, quote unquote, coincidental situations that happen to where shit just works better for men. Men are just naturally, they're going to be like that. They're the providers that can build a house for you. There's so many things that you need men for, So once we do have you, and you came in to be a help, you helped us continue to build our castle and our empire for you. You get to taste those benefits too. And then when you have help with it, and you go get one of your friends to also marry that man, and y'all both are helping him together, then oh my gosh, man. You could take a guy that's going from a bus driver to all of a sudden he's getting enough money coming in, he's getting his CDL, and he's getting his business license, and he opens up his own bus driving company. I've actually seen this. That's why I'm giving this as an example. I've seen this testimony on the internet. I think this guy was this African dude, man. Came over here, picked a lower paying job as just being a regular bus driver, and upgraded and upgraded and upgraded. And he had multiple wives that came over here with him. So they were taking care of the kids and doing everything they needed to do. And they also had their little income coming in to help feed the business plans and ideas. So now he owns a fleet of buses and holds a whole company. They're multi-millionaires now. That's the power. And these women chose him while he was a broke dude driving a bus. You see, y'all don't want to give any of us the time of day if we're not millionaires and athletes and shit, or doctors and lawyers. We all got to be looked down on and thought of low enough to spit on our faces. You think a man is going to be at the top and pick you when you didn't help build him to get him there? Why the fuck would we do that? That makes zero sense. That's like, you go to school for 8 years to become a doctor, right? Put things in perspective. And then you just give your degree to somebody else and they get the job. No, you wasn't with us to earn that degree. So men ain't looking for you and checking for you when we're already at the top. They're already picking their women along the way. Because once you get to the top and you try to pick women, the pot is full of gold diggers. None of them are really genuinely love you and want to be with you. They love your money. So when the money go out, they go out. But if we find one that's rocking with us while we're down and out and with us all the way to the top, that's the one that stays. And then she gets to reap the benefits once we get to the top. And then she's the head bitch in charge. She gives the orders for the rest of the wives. If y'all want some damn control so bad, there's hierarchy in the household. You got the head wife, the first, the second, the third, and there's structure there. Well, she earned her spot because she was with him from the ground up. A lot of women dog us out and treat us like we ain't shit and this and that. They spit in our faces. They're quick to insult us over our current life status. Well, we're not this and that or this and that. You didn't achieve this. You're this. They treat you like that because you're not at the top. And then you got the women that are so selfish like that. They do get with a man at the top, and that's not good enough. They end up cheating on him with another man that they met that was also at the top because they like to pick and choose. They like having, their hand in the bowl of candy. They're addicted to that all-you-can-eat buffet of penis, man. Salaki, not trying to be so vulgar, but that's just what it is. So us on the West, we're cooked. It's cooked, man. Don't even waste your time doing that, because you're gonna regret it when it ends up in a divorce. And now you paid so many $1,000s for that ring and it didn't work out, and then you got to pay more thousands of dollars for lawyer and legal fees because she wants to take all half of your shit. See, they're so used to having their hand out and receiving everything and not giving nothing in return. And their idea of what they give, I gave sex. It's just a job. It's just a chore. Or in some cases, they have kids and they're upset because they weren't raised to be mothers. So being a stay-at-home mom feels like slavery. They call it slavery. And it's fucking not. And a lot of these women are seeing how that's not slavery from being independent all these decades over in America, and they're exhausted. They're getting laid off from these jobs, fired, and just being so worked because these companies can't afford to hire employees. So if you're a woman as an employee, they're going to work the fuck out of you. And you're going to see what it feels like being a man. A man can take that type of stress. You can't. So they crash out and they crying, hollering, getting on drugs, neglecting the kids, trying to slave on this job. When that burden is supposed to be for the man. But you wanted that burden so bad. This Ephesians 5:22 says, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord. Right. Wives submit. It doesn't say men submit yourselves to your wives. No. That's an act of submission, getting down on one knee, giving her a knee. Will you please marry me? Will you please? And you're the one sucker asking her to marry you when she just got through having like 30 men within the past year. So many guys have lined up. If you could line them all up, the line would be down the block of bodies that these women have on them. So you're nothing special to them in their eyes. They've had too many. They can't pair bond with you. So why submit to that? Doesn't make sense. Okay? Wives are supposed to do that. And they're supposed to submit unto you as if you're Yahweh Shai himself. It says, for the husband is the head of the wife, even as a Mashiach is the head of the church. Right. So the husband is the head, in charge of you, above you. Not you above him. I'm above you. Dumb bitches, bro. It says, even as a Mashiach is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the body. Therefore, as the church is subject unto a Mashiach, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. So you're supposed to be in submission, subjection. You're supposed to listen in everything. This is straight out the scriptures. This is Proverbs 31:3. It says, give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. Right. You'll give your strength unto a woman, man. And the scriptures also warn about chasing. You're going off if you're trying to chase a woman and get her and try to make her, see your side, make her stop. Please, please come back to me, baby. Like all these songs, breakup songs, R&B songs. Come back, come back, come back, come back. Well, listen to this.
Oh, I was today years old when I found out that men are not supposed to chase after women. Proverbs 31. Don't chase after women and lose your strength. Women like that have destroyed kings.
Hey, we can grab that, okay? Because she's on point. And you heard this from a woman's mouth. So men, are you listening, bro? Women, are you listening? We're not to beg to be with you. You want to leave us? Bye. You don't want to change just a little bit? It means you don't love me. No. You were brainwashed to think that playing that game is something you're supposed to do to try to get a man to prove his, prove your worth to him if he chases you. That's a demonic game, and it's off. It's a sin for men to be trying to beg to be with you. You're not the head. You're supposed to chase after us. And we already read it once in the KJV, but here's another version in the EASY or Easy version. It says, "Do not chase after women and lose your strength. Women like that have destroyed kings." Okay, so there it is, man. Right here. So we got no reason to bow down to you, to beg you to come back, to beg you to be with us. That's not the case, man. You don't see history in that of a king getting off of his throne and chasing one wife to go to find her and then crying and getting on knees with a ring and saying, "Boys," in front of all the kingdom for her to come back. It just did not ever happen in history. Okay? Kings don't do that. All right? The women come to the kings. They have to compete with other women to try to get that place. And you read the book of Ruth and you see what she had to do for Boaz to earn that place. This is Ruth chapter 3, verse 1. It says, "Then Naomi, her mother-in-law, said unto her, My daughter, shall I not seek rest for thee, that they may be well with thee? And now is not Boaz of our kindred, whose maidens thou wast. Behold, he winnoweth barley tonight in the threshing floor. Wash thyself therefore, and anoint thee, and put thy raiment upon thee, and get thee down to the floor, but make not thyself known unto the man until he shall have done eating and drinking. And it shall be when he lieth down, that thou shalt mark the place where he shall lie, and thou shalt go in and uncover his feet, and lay thee down, and he will tell thee what thou shalt do. And she said unto her, All that thou sayest unto me I will do." All right, so before this point, Naomi and Ruth went to Boaz's farm. He had land, okay, where he was growing barley. He had his own shit together, man. His own crib, his own substance, And Ruth's husband had passed away. And so the next kindred in line that was to be the way it was is if a woman's husband passed away, if he has a brother that's alive, that brother's supposed to marry her. Okay, but this case, I believe Boaz was one of the cousins of Ruth's husband, if I'm not mistaken. So he was the one of those that would be okay to marry her. So she traveled to him a great distance, and she was working in the field, like you heard in the beginning, with the other maidens. So she came immediately serving Boaz. He didn't have to go and find her and say, "Hey, will you go on a date with me?" You women are supposed to come to the man, man. If they don't come to the man, then the man goes to the woman's father. That's the way it was done in the ancient world. And in some cases, men, found women that were single and just out, open, and available, and they took them. That's accounted as that in the scriptures too. But for the most part, everything was arranged marriages, okay? And the men were always the prize in biblical history. So you see many accounts of women, humbling themselves, using their hair to wash their feet, going and serving them and saying, hey, I need a husband, or will you be my husband? Women came to the man. But you see what America has done? It's all opposite. So you see her mother-in-law's telling her, hey, clean up, get all fresh. Get all fresh when he's tired from working all day and he's drinking and eating, then go and go and, do the you know what. So this is where we're reading the account. Okay? Verse 6 says, and she went down onto the floor and did according to all that her mother-in-law bade her. And when Boaz had eaten and drunk, and his heart was merry, he went to lie down at the end of the heap of corn. And she came softly and uncovered his feet and laid her down. And it came to pass at midnight that the man was afraid and turned himself, and behold, a woman lay at his feet. She was ready to give him some box, man. She came to him. Like, y'all come to us, man. She says, and he said, who art thou? And she answered, I am Ruth, thine handmaid. Spread therefore thy skirt over thine handmaid, for thou art near kinsman. So she said, hey, give it to me. Did he have to spend any money? Did he have to buy her a ring? No, man. But he had to double check, and he had to make sure he was good, because there was another person that was a closer relative to her husband than he was. So he fast forward in the story, we read on. Y'all can go read this for yourself, man. The book of Ruth chapter 3 is a great read, especially for women wondering how to get a husband and how to submit. Read Ruth, man. It's all in there. All of it. But yeah, he had to go check with his siblings and other family members and make sure that, that they weren't supposed to be the first to have the opportunity to have her as their wives. So they casted a lot, and they gave him the green light. Okay? And we can read on to see the account of that. All right, this is the book of Ruth, chapter 4. We're going to jump down to verse 9. It says, and Boaz said unto the elders and unto all the people, ye are witnesses this day that I have bought all that was Elimelech's, and all that was Chilion's and Mahlon's of the hand of Naomi. Moreover, Ruth, the Moabitess, the wife of Mahlon, have I purchased to be my wife, to raise up the name of the dead upon his inheritance, that the name of the dead be not cut off from among his brethren. And from the gate of his place ye are witnesses this day. And all the people that were in the gate and the elders said, we are witnesses. Yahweh make the woman that is come unto thine house like Rachel and like Leah, which two did build the house of Israel. And do thou worthily in Ephratah, the famous in Bethlehem. And let thy house be like the house of Pharez, whom Tamar bare unto Judah, of the seed which Yahweh shall give thee of this young man. So Boaz took Ruth, and she was his wife. And he went in unto her, and Yahweh gave her conception, and she bare a son. So there you go. The act of sex is marriage. It says he took Ruth, meaning he laid down with her. And he went in unto her, and she had a child. That's what equals marriage. Not a ring or an ordained minister lawfully pronounce them husband and wife. It didn't say they had a minister there saying you're married. No, they became married when Boaz took her. Okay, he did pay for her because he bought his family members. When you read up, it says his name was Mahlon. He bought his property. He bought everything that belonged to him. So that included Ruth. Okay? So that's how marriage is traditionally done, man. It's not by paying you. We pay your father for your hand in marriage if it was arranged. If it's not arranged, y'all need to humble down and learn how to seek and desire and learn the importance of a man. Start learning from these Eastern women and getting in touch with them and get in training, man. If y'all want a husband. So Isaiah 4:1 is approaching, man. We're seeing a lot of stuff, man. A lot of women getting on videos talking about polygyny, how they're with it. You know, you got some women talking about how they're not, still holding on to the backward society, still holding on to that string that's breaking. On the other side of it ain't nothing but death, but they still holding on, man. You know, but a lot of people are putting out videos. You know, you're seeing more videos of women asking for a man in hand in marriage. That's how it's supposed to be. You know, but more importantly, what it would be is if the man would ask the woman's father, and she would be a virgin, and the marriage would be arranged. That's the number one order. Okay, but this society, man, all this bowing down to you, that's got to stop. And men need to stop simping and doing that shit, man. Learn your worth, learn the reality of things supposed to be. So with that, Lord's with us, it was edifying. I'm going to close out. Give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Kakadash. Double honor to our apostles, elders, great millstone, Tasha's truth and will well. And citation, hope, light, pushes truth and honest sincerity. Shalom.